bought a house. It had a backyard, some boring grass, and lizards running wild. I started making plans and digging lots of holes. But then I turned on the TV, and that's about the time Eat Your Backyard began. Please don't eat out of a green garbage can. I went ahead and planted mango trees, bananas, even pigeon peas. Now I share my whole life with you. Bunnies, chickens too, my forest grew and grew.
And here I am at the entrance to the amazing Eat Your Backyard Zen Bunny Run. And I'm not here to just stand here and make you wait to hear the topic of this video. I'm here to fill you in on the ancient Zen art of tree branch bending. That's right. It's a skill I've developed over the years that is something like just bend the branch a little bit to make it be where you want it to be. I'll show you some examples of it around my yard. I got a sea grape over there that I have been doing this to for years. I've got some strawberry trees that I've been doing this to just mildly. I've got some mulberry trees I've done this to quite extensively. And well, quite frankly, everything in my yard that I can shape to be in a certain space, I typically do because I want to be able to get the maximum usage out of the yard. So let's go ahead and look at this weird Persian mulberry I've got growing over the Zen Bunny hut itself.
Check out my new original music channel called Jedi Jingle Maker, where you can see all my cool tunes. I even play guitar. See you there. Give it a sub.
Now take a look at this. This mulberry tree is actually laying on top of this roof. I've done this on purpose. I've grown it like this on purpose. I bent this tree over, you can see, down towards the base there. You can see how it takes that curve. I bent it I'll show you how with my hand. I've just bent it over very lightly and continued to curve all the branches, including this top branch. You can see it's got that curve on it. I'm kind of bending that to keep it from going up towards these power lines that go to a street light. But I've been bending them over because I intend to harvest them. And I'm gonna go ahead and harvest them later, but I've been able to put them where I want it. So now when I cut it here, I'll get more growth up. This is going to be a natural canopy of mulberries for these sweet little bunzos below. It's nice to keep it very shady back in here, but you see a very good example of bending it to be where it needs to be, and now harvesting the branches for cuttings. By the way, everything loves to eat mulberries. Everything, the chickens, the bunnies, us. The chickens and the bunnies will even eat the leaves. Okay, take a look at this. This is a strawberry tree, Jamaican cherry tree, which they use in Jamaica for smoking meats, the wood. They also, the tea, the leaves can be used to make tea, and the berries are very good, but this one was grown from a seed, and it can be a pretty straight up and down grower, but I don't want it to grow up into these lines here. Those are cable lines, cable TV lines. So I've been bending it. I've just been pulling it down and bending it down, and you can see it's taking on that weeping shape. Now anything that grows out that way I'll cut off and keep it under control, but I want it to weep away from the ocean. The sea breeze is going to perpetually push it this way, and it's going to now be weeping away. That's another good way to just mildly bend the branch over. Now this is a sea grape I've got growing over an area that I grow seedlings in, and I trim it a lot. It's used as a shade cover for this bench, and I'm going to go ahead and bend a couple of these branches and demonstrate to you exactly how to do it. All right, and this one looks like the perfect candidate. Now what I do is I'll just take it out on the end, and I just kind of very lightly, I'll hold it towards the base so that it doesn't crack, and I just sense where it can bend and just slowly bend it. And you see, look at that. Now it's going. The key is not to overdo it, right? Also not to curl the ends if you don't want them to be curled, because if you curl it down, they can tend to want to almost grow back under and out, and I don't think you want that. I never do. So just a little bit, and sometimes you can hear the fibers just cracking just a little. That's good. Don't want to break it though. All right, look at that. Look at that. All right, now this one, I think I want this one growing out a little bit in a different direction. Oh yeah. So you can get the idea. It starts to become something that you make it go where you want it to go. And when they're young like this, you can even bend them before they start to get very long. you know, just kind of convince them to go where you want them to go. Again, without breaking them. And you start to get beautiful canopy shelf built up over a place you want to have shade. And that's very important. Now this Barbados cherry as well can be bent back to be more straight. So again, a good technique. Now the tree will heal itself as long as it's not hurt too much. So the idea of just bending it just a little bit, cracking the inner fiber to get it to grow where you want it to grow is a great technique. It's a hack for every plant you have in your yard that it's able to be done on. Keep in mind, not all trees can you do this on because some trees will just immediately break. So the trees that I like to do them with are the strawberry tree, the sea grape, certainly mulberry trees. Depending on the flexibility of the wood, that depends on how easy it is to do this technique. But with a more flexible branch tree, you can typically just bend it, break the inner fibers just a little bit and get it to grow where you want it to grow. Then the bark regrows and you have now that new shape. Okay, now this is a giant sea grape that I've been growing now for about close to 15 years, and it's quite mature. I trim it all the time, and you could even see recently some trimmings along the bottom here. But one thing I've done here, since I've tree formed it to the shape I want it to be, I wanted to actually make it a trellis. And the sea grape will get pretty sturdy branches and the right kind of growth pattern to support vines and so on and so forth. In this case, I put on a dragon fruit cactus. So multiple dragon fruit cactus. So as you can see, all throughout this tree, dragon fruit cactus. And then as it grows out, it's a kind of a vine-like cactus, I'll then place it on top of branches like I did with this one so that it can grow onto the natural trellis that the sea grape provides. I'll show you this one as a good example. There you go. I mean, what an amazing thing. But look at how tall this is. Now you have to keep up on it. I took about 10 feet off of it that just grew this year. So vigorous grower, but vigorous grower means sometimes you have a really high potential for trimming it and shaping it to be something beautiful. Especially the sea grape, that's one of the best for that in my opinion. And I grew this guy from a seed that I found on a sea grape, and it's done well ever since. So I'd encourage you to get one in your yard, and I'd also encourage you to use the Zen art of branch bending to maximize shade and the potential of your trees in the small space you may have, like I have. Hey, don't forget to click the thumbs up button if you like this kind of content. Also, subscribe if you're not already. All right, thanks for watching. Eat your backyard. Oh, don't forget, plant more often.